Hey, 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 good afternoon, true crime friends. Oh my God. So here we are over at Judy's place, live with Judy from AA Legal Focus, which I
Hello.
kept thinking was African American Legal Focus, but it's not.
Okay.
And Tanika from Of Two Cents fame. Hello, ladies. How are
Yay.
you?
We're doing great. It's great to see both of you together. I'm so glad you were able to make it. Yeah. How are you, Tanika?
I am well. I'm excited to talk about all things Donna Adelson. I'm here for
Yes.
justice for Dan Markel. Let's get into it. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I was so excited to find that Jury Four Persons TikTok on Brandy Churchwell's YouTube channel. So can we
Yes,
start? Shall we start by playing that?
absolutely.
Okay, let's
Yes.
take a look because that's new info. So let's see. And please subscribe to her channel. Okay, thank you, Brandy. Okay, I might have to force you all to sit through ads though, unfortunately. Okay, can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay,
Let me, oh, whoa.
we'll do it a little faster.
I have all my settings for the other channel. I don't have
Okay.
them for this one. Let me get myself together. Update layout. Here we go. There we go. All right, we ready?
Donna Adelson was found guilty on all 3 charges for killing her ex-son-in-law. I'm here to say that I was on the jury and I got to be the foreperson. If you have questions, let me know because I can finally stop.
Whoa.
So I'm going to answer some questions now. But I do want to preface, okay? For one, not a single member on the jury knew anything about this case before being selected to serve on the jury, okay? First and foremost. Number 2, as far as people's concerns as to me being on social media and posting my TikToks in the last week or two, there was no rule stating that we cannot be on social media. The rule is provided by Judge Everett in this case, okay? We cannot seek out information about this case. We cannot talk about the case with anyone. We cannot listen to others talk about the case. We cannot do anything in regard to the case during the trial. But now that I'm released as a juror, I have the freedom to say and do whatever. But also in that regard, I don't watch the news. It's depressing. I haven't watched the news in years. If anything, I'll check my weather app, my little Apple weather app once a week just to see. My For You page on my TikTok, where I am the most active, is mostly like TikTok shop videos, like members of like the moms and TikTok community, because that is the content that I typically engage in, interact with. I also post that kind of content sometimes, just like trendy, funny, like music videos, whatever else like that. Basically like stupid humor. And then
I haven't watched this. I waited till I was with y'all to watch it.
I look for on social media. So I'm not breaking any rules. Along with that, I have time before court, during our 1 hour, at least minimum, lunch break during the days of the trial, and then after court to do as I will in regard to all of that. So no rules were broken, no rules are being broken now. I appreciate all of your guys' concern. I'm also going to prove that I was on the jury because there's some of you who's done it. Here is my appreciation letter from Mr. Stephen Everett, the judge on this case, thanking me for my service. Along with that, my document stating I served in the jury every single day of the trial. So I have this lovely thing called public record. Just an FYI. Now with that, I will get into some of these questions, okay? I am excited. I learned so much, and like about the case, but also about the law. And I feel like that excites me. That I thought it was a cool experience, a crazy first time jury experience. So yeah. Anyway, I stated I was the foreperson, and I was, because when we got back to
Is there
deliberate,
an echo, Judy? It might be open in 2 windows.
I asked anyone. I asked.
It might be a little bit echoey because
Oh.
of Brandy's thing.
Yeah, because we're watching a video of her video. Do you think I should slow it back down to normal speed? Because it's at 1.25. Do you care? Nah. Okay. We'll just do it normal. Okay. Sorry. Maybe I should put on captions. Okay, so people can hear, understand. Okay.
Well, I asked everyone if anyone wanted to be the foreperson, and everyone was kind of like, I was like, okay, can I do it? Like, can I please? Also, because I wanted to stay on point with what we were supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want someone else to have the opportunity to be foreperson and then just take us a million different directions. And I know how my brain works, so I was just, like very sequential and purposeful with my questions and discussions and what we talked about, whatever. So overall, it took us about just over 3 hours to deliberate and reach our final verdict, right? But within the first hour and a half, I want to say, everyone was agreeing that she is guilty. It was unanimous within the first hour and a half. But
Wait, can you pause for a
you
second,
need to be looking
Judy?
for, the different.
It's a little bit wild to me that everybody voted her guilty on first ballot. Like, I've been the foreperson of the jury because, I got that takeover spirit for real, for real. Girl was like, I will be the foreperson, and okay, let's talk about it. And I mean, this girl is great. JC, I think is her name.
Or
She's a
Lacey?
little bit long. JC, like
Oh,
Lacey with a
Jay.
J.
Yeah. Okay, I got
Yeah,
it wrong.
which is her screen name. But I'll summarize a little bit for you. She was saying that when they got in there, everybody was just like, okay, what do we do now? Right. And so she's like, hey, girl, hey, I will be the foreperson. And they were like, okay, who thinks she's guilty? Every single person, the first time they asked, said, yeah, we think she's guilty. But
Yeah.
JC was like, okay, let's take this very seriously. Let's go through it. The 3 hours or the 2 hours or whatever was them going over. They voted 3 different times to make sure that everybody agreed, and just to make sure that there was not one juror who was just sort of going along to get along. They did a raise your hand vote, and then they did okay, let's take pieces of paper, write down your vote. Everybody still voted yes. And then she did it another way. Oh, she said the third time you had to say it out loud, like with your voice. She's like,
Wow.
I wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. She gathered that jury all the way together, and 1, 2, 3 was like, she's guilty. And then
Yeah.
they just sort of, it sounded like, they sort of gossiped a little bit about the contents, the things they had learned in the trial, which I was like, oh, to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she
Amazing.
just seems so with it. I mean, she
Yeah.
looks really young. She looks like a teenager, but I guess she's
She
30.
does.
Yeah. With 2 kids, you all say.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what.
she's only lived in the community. I thought they said during jury selection, didn't they say 5 years? She's only lived there 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Imagine being on the jury though, and having all of this like testimony for 2 weeks and not being able to talk about it together, and then finally being able to discuss it. Like, I would have been, girl, can you believe? And what about I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Maybe she's going crazy watching YouTube now, to get all the info that she didn't hear. Yeah. So this is great. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that she's willing to talk and share and put herself out in the public. Did she ever say what she does for a living?
She was Go ahead,
Brandy
Tanika. I thought you
mentions
had.
it. No, Brandy mentions it because Brandy took the notes from voir dire. I can't remember. I want to say something like a manager at a hardware store, but I might be misremembering. It was late last night when I was watching.
She's a manager of something, like she manages people or whatever. She got that takeover spirit. She got that takeover. But I think her personality naturally is like somebody who likes to be in charge, to make sure everything is, all together and in order. But yeah, she answered a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
She did 2 videos. She did this one and another one. Yeah, somebody in the comments said it was retail. I thought it was something in retail as well.
Yeah, she must be a great manager, because looking at the demographics of the jury, it was mostly men, and most of them looked over 35 to 55. So the fact that she went on in there and she took charge, that's pretty amazing. Yeah,
So
good for her.
awesome.
Yeah. Okay, shall I keep playing? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What's going on with my computer? Okay.
Body language, people's facial expressions, all of that, just who may be unsure of something. And we had that. We had two people who said they thought she was guilty. They're like, but I'm kind of confused on this one thing, this like 0.2 on count 2 of her charge, right? So with that, I was like, okay, absolutely not. We are not unanimous right now, so we're gonna go over things. And we went over things point by point, okay? We started count 1. Count 1 was the charge for first-degree murder, and it had several different points that we needed to, address. We went over definitions, we went over principle and how that would apply, all of the different things. We listed out, we had a whiteboard in there, and most of us are visual people, and so we used the whiteboard to go over each point, list out everything that like people just said that like applied and whatever. Those people who seemed a little unsure at first, they ultimately what was needed, they needed the visual. But we went over everything several times because this is a big decision and this is serious, and we all took our duty very seriously. Like, this isn't just fun and games and like, although it is a very cool experience to talk about now and it's exciting, it is someone's life, and it is the law. And we all took it very serious. So, like, I need people to understand that. We went over everything, talked about everything over and over. And about the 3-hour mark, once we were like, moving and grooving, we voted several different times in several different ways. I first had everyone, we went like by each count, right? So I had everyone go one at a time in order of our juror numbers. So 1 through 12. I was like, okay, so for count 1 point, like whatever, count 1 in general, is she guilty or not guilty? And I had everyone go one at a time. We all agreed guilty.
I knew they would all agree.
After that, we did like an all at once vote. And I was like, okay, so for count 1, like raise your hand if you think she's guilty. We all raised our hands, but it's still doing our duty as we're supposed to. Went over it again. And so, people were still talking, just like, they're sharing their thoughts with each other about the case and whatever. I was passing out 12 pieces of paper for everyone to write their final verdict down. And then I emptied like one of the little containers we had for our snacks. And had everyone put it in there. And I did this because I wanted people to, and I said this too, if anyone who's on the jury with me sees this, they know that I did this. I told people, I want you to be 100,000, 50 billion% sure of your verdict. So I want people to write down what they honestly feel and think based on the evidence and the law provided. And without feeling pressured to go along with what everyone else is saying, this is how we can be sure that everyone's on the same page. So write down your final verdicts. We'll go over it. All 12 pieces of paper said guilty. And before I filled out the final verdict form that we had to fill out, we did one more vote. And I went around and everyone needed to tell me out loud and to each other that they found her guilty on all 3 accounts. And that's what we did. And then, filled out the verdict form, signed and dated it, knocked for the bailiffs to let them know that we were ready once they got set up in the courtroom. We went out there, judge asked the foreperson to stand. That was me. It didn't show the jurors, but it was me. And I signed the verdict form, which I believe will be public record. But anyway, after that, he read the, what do you call it, published the verdict. And then, there was that outburst that we all saw. And we had to go back to the jury room. And when we came out, because the parties said that they wanted, Judge Everett went one by one, once again, with all of the jurors, and wanted to hear us say under oath that we find her guilty. And that is what happened. It was such a wild experience. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to like share so much more.
I can't wait for you to share so much more.
Long story short, but also probably long at the same time. Yes. Yes, I do. And do I think she is next? Do I think Harvey might be next? Absolutely, I do. Now, the state hasn't said that specifically, but there's evidence showing that they were aware of what happened. And I mean, I had to think back and take my notes because, well, like write down new notes. We couldn't take the notes that we took during the trial out of that jury room. They get disposed after deliberations. Minor details. Now, if and when
Thank you, Wendy.
the state goes after Wendy, I think they will. I think it's going to be to a lesser degree. It's not going to be the same charges, only because she insulated herself from her family, from the situation very, very well. Very well. And she also played dumb very well. I feel like that's when we saw the acting that Miss Donna referred to.
Can you pause for a
previously.
second, Judy?
I love that she saw.
I would love to hear what they thought about Donna's outburst when Donna was like, "Ah," at the verdict.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the thing that I want her to talk about the most. Like the outburst of Donna. Oh my God. I was kind of living for it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
terrible.
I heard that Donna was sort of stomping her feet too, but I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you in court for the verdict?
No, because I stupidly left the courthouse when they braked for the jury to deliberate. And I just assumed I could get back into the building. But of course, the staff left. So there's no one downstairs. It was totally locked by the time I ran out there at 7:40 p.m. So I
Oh
was
my
just like
gosh.
standing outside the courthouse watching on Deep Dive True Crime on my cell phone. And just like, oh my God, I can't believe it's going on inside the building and I can't get in. And I walked around the whole building. It was totally locked, of course, but it's okay. You know, I was there
Dr.
sort of. Yeah.
Dr. G Explains, who does like body language and stuff, did this amazing reaction to Donna hearing the verdict. And he sort of broke it down because I was like, I didn't see tears. Honestly, all the dry crying, I was just like, mm-mm. And then
Yeah.
I think another YouTuber was like, there was not a tear in the house, or there was not a wet eye in the house, something like that.
No. And her nose wasn't red. Her eyes weren't red. It was all that. There was no tears.
She was just mad. She wasn't really sad to the point of crying. She was just having a fit.
And
Now,
I
it was like
love
a
that
toddler's
Judge
tantrum.
Everett said, "Give her a tissue if
If she needs one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that was cold. Yeah. If she, hey, you guys, look what I got.
oh,
I do not have a little black robe to wrap the milk duds in, but I knew I had to go out and buy some boxes of milk duds because you've done
Oh
a
my
great
God.
job being a free commercial for milk duds. So
Oh, Judge Everett, we should send him some milk duds or some Whoppers. Either one. He just looks like a little round chocolatey head. Like he's so adorable. Oh my
I
God.
don't think he
Every-
really needs milk duds or Whoppers though, but you know,
He
but they are
children.
pretty good. They are pretty
He can
good.
give them
Look
to
at
the
it.
kids.
Chocolatey goodness. Yeah, it's kind of
They
shiny.
stick in your teeth. They
Mhm.
stick in your teeth. But yeah, he reminds me very much of a milk dud. Somebody
Yeah.
was saying that he's just like a regular guy, a regular dad, that they see him at the Little League field. I forget who it was, but somebody on Surviving the Survivor said they would see him watching his kid play at the Little League field. And I was like, oh, wow.
And he goes around wearing blue jeans, regular clothes, you know,
Mhm.
no pompous attitude. So really great judge. So
That's awesome.
I should make some more shorts in his honor. So hey, but we're not done. So should I continue playing this?
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
It's almost done. Okay, hold on.
Through Wendy's acting. I love it. I love that because we all saw through it. I was wondering if the jury would. And thank you so much, Wendi H. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. How happy are y'all that she saw through it?
She plays that part way too good. So I do think that she will be next. I just don't know what extent. I don't know what she will be indicted on, but she was 100% involved. 100%. Because how would they know Dan's routine, right? Obviously, they were given his address, whatever. But the killers, the hitmen, they would have needed some sort of insight as to where they can find him, like what he would be doing, all of that, right? It's crazy. Also, her whole testimony in her mom's trial, I don't remember. I don't remember 500 sips of water. That has guilt written all over it. Anyone who knows anything about like interpersonal communication or body language, she's dripping in guilt. Okay. I honestly, I don't know how she sleeps at night, to be honest with you, but it's whatever. Neither here nor there right now. As far as, did we discuss that in the jury room during deliberations? Not necessarily. We just described, like, we discussed things about her relating to her testimony and just like things in regard to the case, because we had to stay on point. You know, that's what we were there to discuss. So not so much if we think she's next, but after we were released from our service, walking back, being escorted by the bailiffs to the where we parked and stuff, it was very interesting to hear everyone's opinions, because at that point in time we were allowed to talk about it because we were dismissed from the jury, whatever. Everyone agrees she's probably gonna be next. We just don't know to what extent. Because yeah, like I said, she insulated herself from the situation and her family way too good. Like I said, she plays the role of dumb, and you know that term ignorance is bliss. Like, she is taking that to a whole new level. Now she states that in her testimony, she the morning that Dan was shot, right? She was going to meet some friends for lunch, but she had to stop by the liquor store for like a stock at the bar party later on, whatever. Now, the liquor store she chose was completely out of the way. The route she took, completely out of the way. There was that exact liquor store that was closer to her house and in the complete opposite direction, but she chose to go this very long route out of the way, and says she normally takes Trescott Drive. So she goes to try to turn, but there was the roadblock because at that point in time, law enforcement had arrived on scene. Dan was rushed to the hospital, yada, yada, yada. She says she encountered the roadblock, turned around real quick, and just like went a different way to the liquor store. Then they also brought in another witness. The state brought in another witness, the officer who was working like at the roadblock, basically. And he states, which contradicts what Wendy said, that you could see Dan's house, the crime scene, all of the...
Y'all, they picked up on that. I was so like the way that, because those two witnesses were not like right back to back, you know, or like that testimony was not like right back to back. So I was like, I wonder if they're going to pick up on that. And they picked up. She is smart. She is like picking up on, I love a young juror who pays attention. Love it. And she reminds me of like with her notes and her visuals, she reminds me of like how obsessive I would be if I were a juror. Thank you, Tino, too. Thank you. Thank you for this channel and all your hard work. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you. She's awesome. I love this juror. I have already messaged her to interview her.
Please.
I have also messaged her to interview her.
There, right? You could see that from the house. I mean, from the roadblock. And whereas she claimed you couldn't see it. So knowing that, he also identified her car in the trial during his testimony. He saw her car, and most people, you know, like when they get to a roadblock, they, you know, gotta turn slowly to get, you know, like oh, what's going on, like processing it. No, she like whipped in and out, right? And now knowing that she could see the house, and she didn't make any calls to the daycare, to Dan, to check on him, the kids, no calls to law enforcement to see if anything was okay. I mean, like, come on, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. What else do I have? And then her ex-boyfriend Jeff Lacasse testifying. Now, granted, I will say I think it's very weird that she told him about the hitman thing in confidence, and then he didn't report it. But you know, again, it's what are you gonna do at this point? But that's one thing, you know, like towards the end of their relationship, they were discussing, you know, like the relocation thing, because apparently that Wendy always talks about that, and like the divorce file, yada yada. And she said, "Well, can I tell you something in confidence?" And she said, "Yeah, you know, my brother looked into that hitman thing because at that point in time, he witnessed, he was there to witness a joke from Charlie, like, oh, a TV is cheaper than a hitman or something like that." I'm getting off track. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, his testimony, like basically the last time that they got together, July 11th, 2014, they met up somewhere. I think it was hot yoga, and basically he at that point in time knew the relationship was over, so he like literally like backed off as they were leaving, whatever, didn't say anything. But then Wendy turns around and asks him very weird and specific questions about his travel plans in the coming days. And, with that, the first time the hitman had come to Tallahassee, they rented a car, a Nissan, that looked just like Jeff's car at that time. And that point in time, too, she was asking specific questions about his travel. So, it's just a little weird. I think she was trying to set him up. And then all the details that they had, she had to have provided it. Obviously. And then, let's see what else. Calling her kids by her last name before Dan was ever shot.
Yes.
And then legally changing their last name and the older one's middle name, mind you. Middle name and last name 1 year after he died. And also with that, she didn't take the kids to his funeral. That's a little strange. Yeah. They both, Wendy and Harvey, both knew. They didn't say anything. That is a crime in itself. And I do think they're next. I'm just curious to see when and what they're charged with.
Oh, look at her little stuff. What a cute little, she's got her cute little kid back there. She's trying to hide her little baby. That's adorable. That's adorable.
Okay.
Wild.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, she gave so much detail. And you know what? Patty Wilson told me that during the trial, she and some other people were concerned the most about this juror because she seemed to be so intense and was taking notes constantly. And, maybe she looked so serious throughout. So I'm like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's for the defense, though. But, it just shows how detailed she was.
It's so interesting. Why would taking notes make them concerned?
I don't know. Maybe they thought the person could get totally bogged down in details and then think, well, there's reasonable doubt. I don't know. So, yeah. So
Seems like she didn't miss a beat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. What about you, Tanika? How do you feel?
About the juror, about the
Yeah,
four-person? I'm
about this
here for the
person.
four-person. I feel like
Mhm.
she got a lot of the details, a lot of the nuance. I followed the trial for years. I used to watch your coverage early on, Judy.
Yeah, thank you.
But she got a lot of details, so it makes sense that she was writing a lot of notes. But also she was looking at like body language, intonation. Like she was very exact in what she was doing, right? And how
Yeah.
she was observing.
Yeah.
Like just a keen observationist, I would say. So I dug that. And also the subtleties of the relationships, right? Because I was worried. Remember, what was her name? Bailey, the one who testified after Wendy's.
Lisa. Yeah, Lisa
like,
Bailey.
where she was like trying to downplay it. So I was like, I hope no one falls for this, right? But like
Yeah.
maybe someone will think this wasn't contentious. But it seems like with her as the leader, they got to see the family dynamics and they understood like the meaning of changing, of stripping away the Markel name, basically, right? And they're
Yeah.
male
Yeah.
children. So they're meant to carry that name on for Phil Markel because obviously he only has one son. Shelley's children are going to take on her husband's last name, right? So
Right,
all of
right.
that, like they went about erasing Dan Markel. And so they picked up on all of that, right? It's not by coincidence. It's not by chance. They hated him that much.
Yes.
They wanted to wipe him off the face of the earth. And it sounds like this poor person got that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad she picked up on that weird circuitous route that Wendy took to go down towards Dan's house, ABC Liquor, and then back up to Mosaic. Yeah.
That's the wild thing about having local people, right? Because they sort of know like the culture and the community and whatever, but also what is the most sensible route for you to get from point A to point
Yeah.
B. I could watch this trial on the internet all day long, but I wouldn't know that like the restaurant that they had lunch at, there's an ABC Liquors right next to it, where this juror off the top of her head was like, oh yeah, why would you go that way when there's another one right over here?
Yeah.
It's the thing I love about jury duty. It's like random people from the community thrown together. I also was concerned that as a person who's followed this case for years, will they get all the little like nuance and detail that I know as somebody who's been, obsessed, but they totally got it in only 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long the trial was. It seems like they didn't miss a beat. I love it.
Mhm. Yeah, and she knew about this setup of Jeff Lacasse and how he was mistreated and manipulated.
And
Mhm.
she picked
Yeah,
up that it was obvious that Wendy was the one relaying the information to the hit persons. Right? I mean, and that's a testament to the prosecution. They got it
Yeah.
all in
absolutely.
there and they made it like bite-sized pieces for them to understand, digest, absorb, and process it all.
Mhm.
I love Georgia and Sarah. Like amazing, amazing
For
team.
sure.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the planners, like having the driver's license number written down in the date book.
Mm.
Apparently, Daniel Rashbaum turned over all of Donna's planners
Yeah.
back when he was representing her. Number one, he did not have to turn over those planners, and number two, there's a lot more information in those planners that were not used at this trial. So
Mm.
Georgia said they just been going through like bit by bit, sort of seeing what little nuggets they can find because they found that license plate number accidentally. It was an
Yeah.
unforced error. How long until Donna sues her counsel?
I
That's the
know.
real
Why did
question.
he turn it
Next year.
over? And
Yeah.
you know it has to
This
be
year.
in there, like the move, because Wendy moved within 48 hours of Dan's death, right? So
Yeah.
that's got to
Right.
be in the planner. Donna had to like lead that, right? Because Rob testified to how his mom said she was there for weeks before they filed they served
Separation.
right the
Yeah.
paperwork on the bed, right? And they called him intentionally. They timed it before he went
Mhm.
on stage. She rented the apartment locally under her maiden name. Like
Yeah.
she had to do something similar for after the murder if she was moved in
Yeah.
48 hours, right? That's
Mhm.
got to
Yeah.
be in some planner somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's
Wild.
more. Yeah. What a very bizarre, very intricate case because they thought they were so smart, doing
Yep.
all these different things, being all sneaky and underhanded, planting seeds, going over every so-called detail. But oops, nobody expected Luis Rivera to be recruited too. And so he was the first one that turned on everyone. So
And
that was great.
apparently, there's a lot of information and phone calls that are still under seal that I'm
Hmm.
like, tell us
Oh,
every single thing. I don't
exactly.
know that they'll
Yeah.
go after Harvey. Do you guys think they'll go after Harvey?
I
I
don't think
hope
so.
so. Oh.
I mean, I hope so, but based on just what the public knows at this point, I don't think there's a great chance of getting some sort of conviction against him because
Mhm.
all we know as the public is that he was with Donna when she brought the cash. But, I mean, he could claim he's just a dopey husband who didn't know what was going on and she just went inside the house herself. So, I mean,
Yeah, he
I'm
knew
sure
at
he
some
knew.
point
I'm
though,
sure he
because
knew.
by the time they were
Yeah.
at Matsuri on that
Mhm.
recording when they made
Yeah.
Yes.
he knew at least at that point, but I heard there's some rule about accessory after the fact in family that can't be. So I think it's harder to prove that he knew prior, but we don't know what's in the planner. We don't know what's in
Yeah.
Donna's phone. I feel
Well,
like
and the emails, because they also got the Gmail account plus their iPads plus his cell phone. So we don't know what else there is. But I do want to correct the record because I've also said that there is an exception for family members helping somebody cover up a crime. But I'm pretty sure there's an exception for first degree murder, as there should be. Yeah,
Oh.
so maybe he could still legally be charged with something. So once again, disclaimer is I don't practice criminal law in Florida, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's an exception for murder. Yeah.
It's so interesting. This morning, honest to God, I was like, let me check my Google alerts. I expected to see an announcement of the untimely passing
Mm,
of one of the Adelsons.
yeah.
I just feel it in my spirit. Harvey
Mhm.
is elderly. He's not in great health, reportedly, allegedly. I don't know, but at least Donna treated him as though he were not in great health or not mentally all there or whatever. But he seemed to be getting around just fine,
Yeah,
over at the
yeah,
courthouse and wherever else. Maybe that's just her, but also his will to live, right? Because Donna is at least down in the turtle suit, naked on a thin mattress in the jail. with the low thread count sheets. But
No sheets
Harvey
right
is
now.
just,
She has no sheets right now.
Oh,
can
no
you
shoot.
imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Charlie talked about how terrible the cell was immediately after he was convicted, how it was like there was, stuff on the walls and
Yeah.
stuff on the floor and whatever.
Where he's under observation. And he said,
Yeah.
it was going to drive him to become wanting to unalive himself just because of the way he was being treated on that
Right.
specific type of S
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. And his mom was on the phone, like trying to calm him down, like so he could get out of there. Like the sooner you look normal and behave normal, the sooner you can get out.
Yeah.
But Donna
Right.
volunteered Harvey's death. Remember on the phone call, Harvey and I will do it together.
Yeah,
We've lived a good life.
We're going to kill ourselves
Ma'am, can
together.
you check with me first before you volunteer me?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he would have done it if she told him to. Like, come
like,
on,
oh my
take this
God.
pill. Yeah, we're going.
He could
But
write
he
himself
even-
a prescription for something good and just be
right.
done.
He even wanted to go to jail with her. My husband's 80
Oh,
years
yeah.
old. He can't go with me? No,
Yeah.
ma'am, that's not how jail works.
Yeah.
No, there's no
was so
plus
full of
one. You
yourself.
cannot register with a plus one to jail. Like, no, you can't get a couple suite. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Not at all.
Tanika, since you're the one who broke the news, can you tell us about that threat Donna got recently in jail?
Oh no, what news did I break?
You said
She
there
got
was Miss Harris. Wasn't there someone named Harris who threatened her in
at
the jail?
Wakala before she got transferred. She said, "I will beat your white ass," and Donna asked to be removed from that, and that's how she got out of protective custody at Wakala. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Huh.
so much for Southern hospitality. I thought people around there were supposed to be friendly. Yeah.
What did Donna do to receive that threat? That's what I need to know. Because Donna was not just sitting there saying prayers and with her hands folded in her lap. She was doing something annoying.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I heard, was that she was driving the staff crazy just because she's so bossy and fussy and privileged, and
Yeah, because she writes, I guess it has to be in writing, like for them to actually do something. She has a little call button, but then she has to put it in writing, and so she writes down all these like ridiculous requests. Ma'am, you are not at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Like, get back down on those 50 count thread sheets and eat your cornbread and stuff. Hey, did you notice I went to Wendy's today?
Nice.
I was like, I gotta check out that biggie meal or whatever they call it.
Yeah, Biggie Baggy or something.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys disappointed he didn't testify? I kind of wanted to see him.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been too strange if he had testified. But actually, someone in the comments said that the biggie meal cost $36. And I'm like, there's no way you would spend $36 at Wendy's, even in New York City.
Fries. I thought he got fries and a soda. Like, it
didn't seem like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the biggie meal here in North Carolina, it depends on what you choose for your sandwich. But the most expensive, I think, was $7, which is a great deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I didn't really want like a hamburger and stuff. So I just got 10-piece nuggets with barbecue sauce. And it was good.
Nice.
I mean,
Did you lick your fingers? Like
no,
Charlie?
that is so filthy. Can you imagine how dirty his fingers must have been?
I know.
It shows you how desperate he was to have some regular food. Yeah.
Well,
for the record,
lobster.
Right. For the record, I went and got, my kids like Wendy's. And last time I went was when I took my son back up to college, which was maybe 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the meal was $13.
Oh, yeah, that's typical now. Yeah.
Yeah, like somewhere between 13 and 15, something like that. They didn't announce it or whatever, but when they opened a door, it seems like they opened instead of opening a hatch, they opened some sort of door and it ran into his foot.
Yeah.
And he started screaming and cursing the person out and telling them they were stupid and just give me my medication, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, you hit my foot. I didn't have shoes on. First of all, barefoot in prison. I'm like,
That's
Yikes.
disgusting. Yeah.
It doesn't seem very sanitary.
I heard
But he
athlete's foot runs rampant in the prisons and jails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
ugh. Well,
Yeah.
he was making a fuss about his toe. So the next day they took him down to like medical and they took a picture of the toe that was not damaged and the
Yeah.
toe that was damaged. I'm like, for
Ew.
toe comparison, I don't
Oh,
know.
gross. Yeah.
And they were like, do you want a Band-Aid? Do you want, I think they gave him a Tylenol or whatever because his the piggy that went to market was hurting. And then they sent him back on his way. But there were several reports of him like yelling and cursing at jail staff on
Yeah.
different occasions. I'm like, oh, his anger has not diminished and his entitlement seems to have increased. Sir, prison is not going to go well for you. You're right where you belong. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
You would think
yes.
he would temper his attitude because these are the same people that he depends on for, food, getting stuff he needs.
Right.
He's totally dependent on the staff. Yeah. So I think that was True Lifestyles who reported that today. So thank you, True Lifestyles. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, wasn't there, I remember soon after Charlie's conviction, he also told his parents that he had developed some sort of staph infection on his eye or his eyelid that
Oh.
wouldn't go away.
Hmm.
So that's typical, right? Because I guess it's pretty filthy and he doesn't get to wash his hands that much and maybe not disinfecting surfaces and rubbing his eyes. That's why I found it pretty shocking that he'd be licking his fingers police van or whatever
Well,
you
he
call
was
it.
coming back. He was coming back from the airport, so maybe he got like a good wash in the airport bathroom. But
Mhm.
also, like,
Maybe.
although the place where Donna was staying, the annex, looked quite tidy. So maybe the women's side is cleaner than the men's side. I don't know. I have sons, right? I only have sons. And the sweat sock smell that comes out of their bedroom, like I keep those little plug-in wall things going because if it either smells like fresh lemons or sweat or gym socks and not on the floor where my kids are on their own area, but
Mhm.
that whole floor smells like sweat socks. And I'm like, no,
Oh
boys.
my. Oh my.
No. It's a lot.
Speaking of the annex, didn't Donna seem quite agile and mobile? She had her hands
Sure.
on her head. She was not moving like that in court. I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
the act is revealed.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
did they show that video? She looks like she's living her best prison life.
Right.
Donna is fine. She may not like it. She may not appreciate the accommodations or the menu, but she seemed absolutely fine in
In her
jail. I was like,
element. Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
you with your people.
Yeah.
You are with your people.
She fits right in, and it did look like she was trying to make friends with those younger women, treating them like her daughters. But of course, it was
Right.
all manipulative because she wanted
course.
something. Yeah.
Of course. Can
Mhm.
you imagine the last time Donna Adelson is seen in public in street clothes? She was wearing that outfit. Honestly, absolutely justice for Danny Markel. But Donna over here looking like she works at the Dollar Tree on the weekends or some kind of lunch lady or something with her roots not done, not a contact lens to be found, none of the expensive foundation. She was looking a hot ass mess
Not
out
a
here for God and all the
hairbrush.
world to see.
Yes.
Girl,
Oh my God. The back of that
I'm
head.
like, our brush is dangerous? Is a brush contraband?
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like the day she was found guilty, her hair looked tidy because it was kind of like pulled back at the top with a rubber band at the top. So that looked okay. But boy, she looks totally different from the way she used to look even back in the bump pictures.
Right. Popping down the stairs of the icon. Totally.
Yeah,
different.
being a
Yeah.
size 2 or
Yeah.
something.
Right.
Yeah.
I loved during opening statements when they were like, Donna Adelson, this is what she used to look like. And I was like, the shade, the
Yeah.
absolute shade of the prosecution of she used to be pretty. Now look at her.
Right.
Yeah, look what's
Crime has not done
happened.
good for her.
Yeah,
It's
she's
so
got
bad.
the face she deserves.
But
So
also, I feel like they pulled the curtain back too because the defense team made her look more grandmotherly, right?
Yeah.
She had
Yep.
the Nancy Brophy outfit on with the cardigans and the earpiece and the glasses. Ma'am, If they let you out tomorrow, that is not how you would be running around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
She
what
would be like, let me get to Talbot's plus size section and get my whole act pulled together.
Right.
yeah. So
How
so
long do you think her friends are going to continue to write her in prison if they're writing her or taking her phone calls at all?
Who, Annie Cunningham? Annie Cunningham is not taking her calls anymore.
yeah, she looked like such a fool on the stand. So
Yes.
I
Oh
had to
my.
make fun of her in a short, with the Golden Girls music. So
Oh,
Oh
I
my
haven't
God.
seen
And
that
thank you
one
for
yet.
being
Oh my God.
friend.
I haven't seen that either. The Gourmet Club. Listen, I feel strongly in my heart that the Gourmet Club should have an Adelson's themed meal where they take all, they can look it up on the internet and find all the food that you can get in prison commissary and be like,
Mhm.
what gourmet meal can we make out of ramen noodles, cans
Yeah.
of sardines, zuzus and wham whams? I don't know what they have, the red vines. Mm-mm. A
Is
prison
that
charcuterie, including some cheese whiz and some mustard packets. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I feel like they should honor them with a gourmet club themed dinner for Donna
Oh
and
my
possibly
God.
Harvey.
I don't know
Definitely
what
Harvey.
what could make those types of foods gourmet though. That's the problem. It's like,
They got a chef. You know a chef comes to gourmet night. You know
yeah.
a chef comes. It'll be like, what's that chopped? Where they give you a
Oh
basket
Oh
of
yeah, they
random
give
yeah,
you
stuff and
you
you
some
got to figure
random
it out.
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and you have to throw it together into some fine meal.
Yes. Yes, they're like, okay, I'm going to take this packet of the sauce, the little salty packet of sauce from the ramen. This will be umami on top of our cheese whiz. I don't know. They can figure it out.
No,
Yeah.
they're gonna leave Donna in the dust. They don't want to know about jail food, prison food. They're like, good luck, sister. We tried.
Yeah. So,
We're going to treat her like she died. Go ahead, Judy.
yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you, Kathy, is there really such a thing as a zuzu and a yum yum or whatever you keep talking
Wham
about?
Yes.
wham.
What?
Zuzus
What is
and
it?
wham whams,
What is
for
that?
those who don't know, it's slang for snacks. Apparently, in prison, in jail, snacks are referred to as zuzus and wham whams. Now, I learned that from the internet, from other creators who had one of the girls was saying that when she was a kid, her mom used to call snacks, and after school, she's like, "Come in here and get your zuzus and wham whams." And
My
apparently, the
aunt did
mom used.
that. I don't know if she was in jail, but when we were little, that is what she called them.
Oh,
It's like all
okay.
those kids, those kitty little snacks have all those like funny, silly names.
Yeah.
And on I first started watching jail related things. I would watch the phone calls from Ernest. What's his name, Tanika? Ernest Williams,
Messed up.
Shirley
Oh,
Strawberry
yes.
from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. When he first got Shirley Strawberry is a co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. She's very classy, pulled together. She married this guy like 7 or 8 years ago, and they were like, "Oh, we're the classy couple, we're black royalty, whatever." But then he got locked up in prison for some sort of fraud thing.
Oh.
And his friends, the phone calls from prison, got the phone calls from where he was locked up. And one of his friends was like, "Ernie, man, are you okay? You got some money on your books? You got some zuzus and wham whams and cakes and pies?" And ever since then, I just think zuzus and wham whams and cakes and pies. So we want to make sure that Miss Donna has her zuzus and wham whams, also her cakes and pies,
Okay.
a
Well,
honey
I'm
bun,
sure.
all the
Yeah.
things.
Harvey's going to make sure she gets her commissary snacks. Yeah.
But
Okay.
no
While he's
banana
alive.
bread.
Yeah.
While he's alive.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, Harvey still has his cousin, Mike Mintz, who they were going to make him the power of attorney to help handle their finances. So I'm sure
Yeah.
that cousin would still continue to help if something happened to Harvey.
Well,
Yeah.
Charlie's
When
needs help,
something
and
happens.
Donna, win, because Harvey's not long for this world. But
I'm telling
Charlie
you.
needs help, and Donna needs help, right? And also, Charlie's son
Mhm.
needs help. He needs a
Ugh,
new mama.
Roman.
But yeah,
Because
Yeah.
his mama's a whole mess. A whole mess. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
she's not on what do you call it? She's not on probation or anything. Or do we know what the state is of her criminal case?
Yeah. Well, I was just looking that up a few weeks ago. So her assault case got dismissed because she and her
Oh.
mom refused to cooperate with the prosecutor because they got into some sort of big physical fight back in mid-March. So both of
Mhm.
them got assault charges. So you can see their mugshots. But so that case is over. But as far as I know, with the DUI and the financial fraud
The credit
cases, those
card.
cases are still open. And she was called and failed. She didn't show up to those court dates. So I think there's a warrant for her arrest, like an order for arrest in at least one of the cases because she didn't show up to the last court hearing. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. It seems like it's totally slow because the financial fraud case happened like in 2022 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Can
bizarre
you
how
imagine getting
slow.
into a slap fight with your mama? You might get
Yeah.
mad at your mama. You might talk about wanting to slap your mama behind her back. Because listen, I don't know about y'all, but I had a black mother. You couldn't even think you wanted to slap her. You would be grounded for the rest of your life if you even had a thought. She would feel it in her spirit, like, were you thinking about slapping me? You know what I'm saying? I was not even allowed to think it. This heifer just hauled off and slapped her mama. She ain't have no black
I
mother.
think the
She ain't have no black
boyfriend
mother.
too, the mom's domestic partner. I think she got into it with both of them because
Well, it
there's a
could have
male
been.
in the
Mm-mm.
charges.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it was hard to tell because part of it was blacked out. So it's not all publicly available. But the mom had this warrant that said she was accused of grabbing at and scratching her daughter's throat. So something definitely was bad enough that the police were called and both got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
it's
feel bad for
that's
the
over.
son. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, your
What?
dad is convicted of murder, your mom is in and out of jail. Like, what kind of life are you gonna have, you know?
What in the ghetto nonsense is happening over there? Like, here's the thing. Stories like this, in my mind, right? And maybe this is me being classist or whatever, but stories like this happen for people who are like struggling, like they're low income, or maybe they're sometimes homeless, or they're, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like they
mental
have
drug
other.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right. That's not to say that domestic battery and all these sort of violence and things can't happen at higher economic levels or more educated economic level or more educated levels or whatever. Certainly not. There's no limit to it, like no race, no religion, no background, whatever.
Mhm.
But I would think that certain kinds of people would work harder to sort of keep it out of the press or, sort of tamp that down. These people have all their raggedy out here in the street. I'm
Oh,
here for it.
Brie, yeah, Brie's giving trailer park all day, every day. So you know she was the nanny of what's his name, David, of Wendy's boyfriend, right? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Charlie was sleeping with the nanny. Then she didn't have a job for forever. Donna was sending her $5,000 a month until Donna got arrested, and I guess Harvey was like, Brie, who? So she hasn't gotten any money since Donna got locked up. So she's out
But they
stealing and credit card
No,
fraud and
I think no. I think she's still getting something because around
It's
Christmas
in a
time,
trust.
around Christmas time, she went to go visit Charlie with their kid, and I'm pretty sure she went with Harvey too. So they do have some sort of decent relationship because she's the only person who is still frequently in touch with him.
okay.
So she would help him also. Yeah.
When they
I
were
think he's
plotting their
not giving
escape,
her the money though. Like whatever the trust was, it set up was separate. Like there's Brie. Donna was
Mhm.
giving her an additional $5,000 in cash a month.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yeah.
$5,000 a month is not a lot of money if you have childcare expenses, if you have rent to pay. Like if
Yeah.
she were working and getting $5,000 a
Right.
month, she'd probably be okay. But not working, plus, and only getting $5,000 a month, I don't know what else she may or may not be getting. But I thought that whatever arrangements were made for Roman's support was only for 2 years.
Hmm.
And certainly that
Oh.
time has elapsed.
No,
Like,
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure because Donna was saying on those recorded calls that she was going to make sure the child was taken care of. But on the other hand, well, this is public record, but when Brie had the DUI in January, there was a form that said she's unemployed and she had to take time to go to rehab. And she later was pulled over for not having insurance. So, and I think expired registration, something like that. But it's
Wow.
like, how could you not have auto insurance?
Trailer
That's
park.
ridiculous. It's not that expensive, is it? If you have a job and you're getting some sort of stipend. Yeah.
If you
So let's
have,
take
if your
this
life
off.
is falling apart to the point that you're getting DUIs and you need to go to rehab, and like she's not sitting down once a month and like figuring out the bills and whatever. Something tells me that like her life is probably a little bit up in the air and crazy right now. If these are the things that we see, like these are the things that are coming publicly. Who knows what's happening behind the scenes? And if she and her mother are out here smacking each other and choking each other, um, it's not like Aunt Wendy's gonna swoop in and come and help with the baby. Maybe some of Katie McBanawaz's relatives will come in and help, but somehow I think no. Like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Katie and Sigfredo's kids at least have what's his name? Frank, Uncle Francis.
Yeah.
Because his wife is in look, me with everybody's business. His wife is still in prison
Embezzlement.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
Samantha.
embezzlement.
Well, they did
Yes,
get divorced, but
Oh, they
you
they
know,
did.
did.
yeah, they got divorced.
I didn't
Remember?
realize that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did get divorced, but sometimes people just get divorced to save the family finances or something.
Yeah,
I have no clue.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
know she still has she got 10 years. She was sentenced or she took a plea for
yeah,
10 years. But
yeah,
the thing that's crazy to me is that she embezzled like $1.5 million and more than half of it went to a psychic.
yeah,
Girl,
yeah,
the psychic ain't
Caridad
tell you this is
Herrera.
coming.
I'm like, how can people have such great persuasive skills that you can cheat somebody out of $600,000? I
It's
mean,
unbelievable
calling yourself
to
a
me.
priest or a
But
witch or something.
couldn't you ask for a refund after you got arrested? Like, ma'am, you should have been able to tell me this was happening. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. That's so I mean, I would imagine some of that money went to Katie's lawyers. Also, reportedly, allegedly, Katie is the one who introduced her to Carrie Dad, the psychic, who got her in all of this trouble. But
yeah,
that's crazy to me.
mhm, yeah.
Look,
Okay,
Brian said,
speaking
I
of
predict I
Katie,
will be rich. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
how do you guys think she did pay for her legal fees? Because I think this trial was the first time I heard that within minutes of Katie being arrested, that Charlie's attorney called the detective and said, are you guys coming after Charlie? Does he need to turn himself in?" So obviously there was conversations.
Yeah.
Do you guys think, I mean, there was obviously some sort of Adelson connection. How
Yeah.
was
For
her
sure.
legal fee funded?
That's what we still don't know because everyone's just guessing. And I was kind of excited when they put Tara Kawasa as one of the possible witnesses
Me
on the state
too.
witness list because I thought, aha, she could testify that Donna Adelson or Charlie contacted her wanting to help pay Katie's legal bills, but no, she didn't get called. So it's
Or
still,
if nothing, a referral possibly. Maybe, they were like,
yeah,
let's refer you to this friend of ours who'll take
yes.
good care of you. But if
Mhm.
Katie's family, through embezzled funds, could pay for her legal team outright, like, okay, that at least makes a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah. Well, also, I heard she did get some sort of life insurance money from her mother's
Oh, from
death.
her mom.
Yeah, because
That
the
makes sense.
mom had a decent job. She was a registered nurse her whole career, so she must have died with something. Yeah.
But her mom died after Katie was locked up, I thought.
Yes, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
that
before the
money,
trial.
yeah, the money still could have
Oh.
been used for legal fees. So sorry, I guess somebody's making comments on my crappy voice. I've been having problems with involuntary vocal tremors that have been getting worse and worse over the last couple of years. So that's why I'm chewing on lozenges. It's not because I'm trying to be disrespectful or something, but you guys do more of the talking while I suck on this thing. Okay.
You know what? Listen, don't complain, don't explain. If people can scroll on if they're
It's
not
free
happy with your
content.
voice.
Click out. Yeah, you have a medical fee.
Seriously. Like everybody take a breath and calm down. It's Judy's channel.
Thank you.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the source of Katie's funds. Obviously, we're all just guessing. But Tara Kawaz, patron saint of lost causes. She had she also has Courtney Clenny, who's coming up soon. I don't know who. I believe Courtney stabbed or is accused of stabbing her boyfriend. She was like a TikToker, or what? She was a social media person.
Wasn't she
OnlyFans, and she
OnlyFans?
admitted to it.
Or she admitted to it. Yeah, I know her parents were tied up in her case. That one's coming up fast. I don't know that I'm going to cover it because I don't find her likable at all. Not that I find any of the Adelsons likable,
But you,
honestly.
you can
Aside
still
from
make,
Rob, I want to be
yeah.
the queen of the Rob Adelson fan club. Like, I will be the president. I will organize the monthly muffin baskets and lovely cards that get sent to his office, his hospital, whatever.
Oh my god. I was gonna cover it, but then I found footage. He knows every time I talk. Of the boyfriend saying he would never date a black woman. So I'm like, well, you got what you deserve, sir.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, no, neither one of them. I was like, plus that's not my case anyway. Like, I don't mind a domestic situation. My favorite, honestly, are the cases where nobody is, swept off this mortal coil, like an attempted something, a heist, something like that. Like, those are my absolute favorite because nobody is physically harmed. Courtney's like, not all Courtneys are murderers. Okay, girl, we see you. We know. I don't know what case I'm going to do next. There was a case that I saw this morning that was like an S&M gone wrong kind of situation.
Yeah.
The woman told her boyfriend, or not a boyfriend, he was like
The
a
man.
client.
Yeah, the man
Yeah.
wanted to be wrapped up in saran wrap because that was his kink, right? So
And
he
she
wanted.
told him to, she had his feet glued to the inside of his boots and was like,
Oh,
put some Gorilla Glue in your shoes. Whenever I use glue, it takes forever for it to dry. Like,
yeah.
how long were his feet in those boots? Were there fans? As a crafter, I have questions. And wouldn't E6000 work better to hold the boots on your feet? I have so many questions. This is a crafting related case. May this gentleman rest. But yeah, she wrapped him like saran wrap around his face or whatever.
Oh. Oh.
Courtney has also called him the N-word multiple times. Nope. I'm
There
a
was
nope
a
right out of
lot
that
of
one.
self-hatred, and she was a drunk. Like, she would get drunk and do it. Just is. There's nothing like appeasing about it. Neither one of those
Yeah,
is
no.
redeemable to me.
No. Y'all don't know about E6000? I'm gonna put you up on some easy. Oh my God, I have to tell you this crazy story. So at work, I do all the decorations in my office, right? And so, I hope my coworker is not watching this. But for every season, I change out the decorations. And one year for Mother's Day, I had made I did a high tea, but it was like I made little cakes and candies and all these other little things that were made out of like putty and hot glue and whatever. Apparently, they looked real. I had them in a box. I guess you might think it was a pastry box, but it wasn't. But they looked like little chocolate bonbons with like a swirl on the top of them. It was putty that I had like baked in the oven so that it was hard, like crafting putty, spray painted it brown. And then I took the hot glue and did like a swirl, like white hot glue swirl. And then the glue swirl fell off. So I used just like a dab of E6000 to stick these little swirls and little puffs of things on top of this candy, right? It's in a box sitting on the counter at work while I'm putting out other decorations. And one of my greedier coworkers snuck over and looked, stuck his hand in it and popped it in his mouth and ate it.
Oh.
Now I'm on the phone, right? Because like I started doing something, I went to get on the phone and I see all these people like doing all of this. And I was like, can you hold, please? What's happened? They were like, what's in the candy? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I couldn't even figure out what they were talking about because everybody knows I do the decorations. The cakes are made of actual sponges. Like, what is this dude thinking? And they were like, let's say the guy's name is Sam. Sam ate one of those candies. And I was like, wait, it's putty. Like, it was like that Crayola air dry putty and hot glue. And then I was like, oh, there's E6000. I think that causes cancer. So he's freaking out. And I was like, he said, apparently he walked up to one of the coworkers and was like, that candy over there tastes terrible. And they were like, wait, you ate it? That's not real candy. And part of me was like, you thought it was real? You
Yeah,
thought
it
it
looks
was
so
real?
good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was so pleased with myself. But then we're like, Googling E6000 like crazy. Does it cause cancer? So here's the thing. E6000, when it's wet, the fumes off of it are definitely a carcinogen. But once it is fully dried and has fully off-gassed, then it is not toxic, reportedly, allegedly. These candies had set drying in my attic with the dust and moths and whatever for months. So he was not in danger from the E6000 or the putty or the hot glue. He was in danger from being maybe not that bright, greedy,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever lives in my attic. I don't know. A lot of dust mites for sure. But I
Oh,
was
really?
just like, oh my God. So he's like, yeah, going forward, I should probably smell things first. Maybe don't eat things. Keep your mouth to yourself, sir. It's not
Maybe
like he was this
ask
was
though. Maybe not sneak into somebody's box and pop a candy in your mouth. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
ask. Can I have one?
I think it's in treats on the top or something like that. But honest to
Oh, of
God, he thought it was a bonbon. He thought he was sneaking a chocolate bonbon. I was
course.
so
Yeah.
thrilled that my fake candy looked so real. He almost killed himself eating it. Like, oh,
By the way, so Kathy, you're constantly mentioning doing arts and crafts. So I remember laughing when you said Jackie Fulford's opening poster looked like something from Hobby Lobby, her Hobby Lobby exhibit.
that
How much was
poster was a
Donna paying
shame.
them? And they went right over to
Like
Hobby Lobby with a glue
$5
stick and a
poster
hot
board.
gun. And yeah, that was horrible. She needs a refund.
She's like, here's all the supplies we need, girl. We got an inkjet printer. We got a dot matrix
ma-
printer. We just gonna
Stop
tear
making
these edges off and
those
get a
were
glue stick.
horrible.
Meanwhile, Georgia is like things are swooshing on and off the
Yeah,
screen.
power
Like,
Sliding in,
audio.
sliding out, which I
Yeah.
love because then what did the foreperson say? Most of us were visual people. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
yeah.
They laid it all out for you.
Mhm.
And the fact that while disgraced judge and funeral home proprietor Jackie Fulford was doing her closing statement, they were making notes. The prosecution team was making notes, updating a PowerPoint on the fly so that they could put her words up there on the screen. I was like, these ladies are so fierce. I could not love it more.
It was
Yeah.
perfect. I am outside does not mean I'm outside.
Yeah.
Does not
Mhm.
equal like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was a great closing. And we have to give props to Jackie Fulford for helping the state win the case with her closing, which focused on even more crappy evidence against her client. You know,
Yeah,
playing
like-
She
that bomb
started
video. Yeah. Oh,
She
you're
started
muted.
with the defense of, she started with, I did not call him bad names, ma'am. Ma'am, we have ears. Also, she should have just answered the question that everybody wanted to know. Girl, where'd you get that suit? Where did you get that suit? Did you take it off a dead man? Do you not know a tailor? How come you couldn't just turn them sleeves up just a little bit? I had so many questions about that suit.
Here was my theory. You know how Georgia always wears red in honor of her dad and his football team? I felt like maybe Jackie was wearing some dead man's suit in honor of, like her dad or her grandpa to give her
Yeah.
good luck because it couldn't have been hers. Why were the sleeves down here? Like, what?
Yeah.
Whose suit are
Oh
you
my
wearing,
God.
ma'am?
Yeah, it just looked really uncomfortable because how can you grab your papers and pen and type at the computer when your sleeves are like hanging onto your hands? It looks very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Even the
She's
shirt
like,
underneath, the collar was like a mess. It was hotmess.com.
Mm-hmm.
the least
Yeah.
she could do is have like at the end of her closing, hold up a thing that's like Young and Fulford funeral services for your funeral
All your
needs.
cremation needs.
Crematorium.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't
Mm-mm.
you guys notice cowboy boots on? I couldn't see what she was wearing on her feet.
I
Did you
couldn't, but I
notice?
heard she wears them.
Mhm.
Thumb hole suit. Who said a thumb hole suit? That's so funny.
I don't get it. What does that mean? Thumb
That's a
hole.
thumb hole suit.
You know how like when you work out, when you put on the
Oh, like the
thumb hole?
Oh, where the thumb sticks out of the
Yes.
sleeve?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I see.
Oh my
Hey,
God, that's so funny.
So are you guys gonna work on getting phone calls and texts? Because Tanika's pretty good at doing the FOIA requests, huh?
I don't know how to get the phone calls. Kathy is friends with phone calls from prison. She knows how to get them. I don't know how to get the phone calls.
I've asked Shay, I put out a message. I put out a short. That's how you mostly communicate with people, right? You just put out a short on the internet. Somehow get it to her. I think it was when Charlie got arrested, when some high profile person got convicted, literally the next day, phone calls from prison had the phone calls up. I have every faith that Miss Shay over there from PCFP, phone calls from prison, will be like, I think Shay sits in the cell. I think she got the cell bug. And it's
She's
just
right there.
directly.
Because what do you think
Uh-huh.
Donna was talking about with Harvey, like the night of the conviction? What was that
Crying.
conversation
I'm
like?
sure she was crying like crazy because that's how she was acting after Charlie was convicted.
Right.
Like, I swear to God, this family is just cursed.
And
I
she's
don't know
probably
what is
blaming
there.
everybody. Wait till she finds out who her foreperson was. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to
Uh-oh.
lose her mind.
Well, hopefully,
You know, she
they won't-
thinks she's better than these people. She's like,
Yeah.
these Tallahasseans. You know, she
Pumpkins.
thinks she's better than everybody there. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it. Well, unfortunately, I have to get going because my son has his swim class coming up. So
He's
I'm
busy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
that's
it.
life. It's always like from one place to another, and I have tons of work
Same.
that's totally built up because I was obsessively watching the trial for the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Well, do you guys want to go ahead and end it, or do you want to continue?
No, I think we
No,
can
no.
end
I
it.
need to.
Oh,
I need to
okay.
go buy cookies. There's a
Yes.
place that sells burnt cookies up the road, and I need to go get some burnt cookies from the
Burnt
Strahlenberger
cookies?
farm.
Go get some milk duds. Milk duds.
Burnt cookies are the burnt chocolate chip cookies. Oh my God.
Oh.
65 cents a cookie. And I'm up there giving them all my money. Take my paycheck, give me your burnt cookies. I
Oh my
love a burnt
God.
cookie.
Oh, you guys
Anyway.
are awesome. I love your coverage. Both of you work so hard on your channels. Kathy, congratulations on getting close to 30K subscribers. And Tanika, how many do you have now?
I am
Like
at
25?
22,000. It
Yeah.
leaped because of the Charlie video because I was at 18 before I posted that.
Yeah. So hopefully,
Really?
yeah, that's amazing. See, because all your hard efforts pay off because nobody else is going through the trouble of, getting
Of being
that.
nosy.
Yeah, be that nosy curtain twitcher. We want the facts, not the facts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get your
you.
baby to his swim practice,
Yes,
Judy. We're not going to make you late.
Get going.
See you
Thank
later.
guys
Bye, everybody. See
everybody.
you next
Thank you.
crime.
so much. Bye.
Toodles.